Hi folks, it's Evo here from Thundermist Lure Company. So glad to see you and welcome to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. I'm out here at Niagara on the lake and there must be, I don't know, 20 boats out here fishing the mouth of Niagara River. I'm going to be joining them. I'm going to join the pack here, find my place and settle in. Today folks, I'm going to run the flexi-jig and I'm going to be jigging for trout. And if you've never seen the flexi-jig, for those of you who don't know, it flexes down and then it springs back up into position. It changes the angle of the hook set, and I'm hoping to hook set into a few trout today, folks. There might even be some walleye out here because the boat or the lure I'm running is a generic lure that I also use for walleye. It's a shad type lure. It's got a little paddle tail on the back, and I'm going to bounce that along the bottom. Now right now I'm in 75 feet of water. I'm just going to bounce up to about 40 feet, toss my jig in, and then I'm going to just bounce along with the current and see if I can hook into a fish or two. So that's going to be the technique, and boy, it is very busy out here today, folks, and that's a good thing. It's nice to see people out in their boats and enjoying a day on the water, and that's what I'm hoping to do today, folks. So glad you could join me. Okay, there we go. We're all set, folks. So I've got the half-ounce flexi-jig on. The winds are relatively calm, so the half-ounce should be just enough to keep me down there. And as I'm drifting with the current, I'm just going to be bouncing that flexi-jig, just hopping it on the bottom and hoping to trigger a bite. Okay, there we go. That was just on the bounce, folks. As I was drifting that jig, he just picked it up. And I'm only running an 8-pound test line, so I got to be very careful. I've got a 20-pound braided line as my main line, but I've got an 8-pound fluorocarbon leader as my other line, so I'm gonna have to take my time with this fish. Antonio says to me, why don't you use lighter line for a change? I said, all right. So I went with light line. I went with 8-pound test and have a little bit of fun today with these fish. My rod is a medium action rod, and I like it. It's a one-piece rod. If I prefer one-piece rods over two-piece. They're much more sensitive, folks, and they're stronger. Now mind you, two-piece are convenient when you're traveling, especially for the boatless angler. Oh, we got a lake trout, folks. We got ourselves a flexi-jig lake trout. Oh, and there he goes back down again. This is going to be interesting to try to land him. These fish are so strong, folks. It's unbelievable how strong these fish are. And the water's cold. The water temp is 38 degrees. So we got cold water. We got ourselves a nice laker. If I can get them landed, folks. I'd love to take a look at them and maybe a quick photo for our Facebook and Instagram friends. You can see all the boats out here. There are a lot of boats out here today, which is, like I say, nice to see people out enjoying our fantastic fishing that we have here, folks. Honestly, world-class fishing out here. Niagara in the lake area, mouth of Lake Ontario, the Niagara River here. It's just phenomenal fishing. Oh, come on. I can't horse them in, folks. I just can't horse them in. Oh, what a way to spend the day. I'm loving it out here. Okay. Yeah, the thing is, you could catch real heavy fish with light line. You just need that good drag system on your reel. And you can hear how my drag is just going out nice and smooth. If your drag jumps out, jump, then it's starting to go on you. You definitely want a reel with a real nice smooth drag system. And that helps take a lot of pressure off your line when you got a nice drag system. Okay. Let's see if I can get it in there. Flexi-jig did its job. I could see the hook is right up the roof of the mouth. So I know he's got a good hook set. It's just trying to get him landed. Does not want to come in. Okay. Oh, back down he goes for another. Oh boy. This is what having fun is all about, folks, right here. This is what having fun is all about. Oh boy. If I can just get him up a bit, get a good look at him. Boat traffic. There we go. Okay, here he comes. Oh, he sees what happens every time I get him up. He sees the boat, he sees me, he sees the net, and he says, no, I'm out of here. I'm going back down. Okay. Maybe now, maybe if I get his head in the net. Okay, once he's in the net, now I can take my time and relax because he's in there. Now the other thing, when you lift these fish up, I've also lifted fish up, big heavy fish, and bent the net. So what you do is just bring the net up like this. That way you don't run the risk of bending your net, because that, folks, is one big lake trout. In fact, I'm gonna get a weight on this fish. I like to get a weight on him and a photo, because that, if I can get him, let's take a look at him here. That is one nice laker right there, folks. That's a beautiful, beautiful lake trout right there. Now I gotta say he's about 15 pounds. Okay, let's get that flexi jig out. We're gonna take a quick photo for Facebook and Instagram. We're gonna get him right back in the water again. Okay, there we go, folks. That's a nice Lake Ontario / Niagara River lake trout right there. What a beauty. Did he ever make my day? Gave me a great fight. We're gonna get him right back in again though. All right, and away he goes. And that's one thing about lakers, they're really, really slimy. So, and this water is really cold. But the key is keep your hands dry. I'm gonna just get a towel, dry these hands, and get my line right back out there again. But you know what, folks, you get an opportunity, jigging for trout in general. They'll take a number of lures, but they also love jigs. And if you're gonna use a jig, use a minnow imitating jig, twister tail, any type of shad, type of plastic. They all work. Use what you like to use and fish with confidence. That's what I'm doing today. I'm having myself a lot of fun, and I bet a lot of these other people are too, which is great to see. Folks, I want to thank you ever so much for tuning in to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. And as always, folks, until next time, good luck and good fishing. Time to get my line wet again.